All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Nana, episode 24.
All
Last
right.
episode was a doozy.
Yeah, we've been through a ringer of great Nana episodes now. So with things developing in relationships across the board, Nobuo semi-confessing, Nana potentially leaving Hachi pretty soon with regards to the apartment situation.
A new financial contract. A couple new ones,
A
potentially.
couple ones, yeah.
In very different realms.
Right. Yeah, everything is set up for even more spice. This show continues to impress. So, yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. So, enough of this music. Oh, yeah.
ようやくメールの着信音が鳴った。
All right. That is a very sweet text. Okay. Rada.
What the... Oh, that's so weird. Damn. She doesn't get to talk much to people.
Yeah.
A lot of people are suffering in silence. Just
Yeah.
need someone to talk to.
What a strong way to, bring a side character to the forefront.
One of those days, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, Say what you will about Hachi. She is not slow to catch on to emotional developments.
Yeah.
つうかお前あのでっかいライターどこに忘れてきた？首に下げてたもんなくさねえだろ普通。
Ooh.
どうしよう。あれ気に入ってたのに。レア物だからそうそう手に入らないし。
Yeah, she has it.
天罰だよ。
Yeah.
大魔王の怒りに触れたんだろ。
Ah!
そうなのか。
I get the I get the feeling you'll get it back.
Or that someone will see it and be like, wait a minute, why do you have that?
お前昨日の夜からずっと携帯繋がんねえから心配したぞ。とりあえず生きててくれてよかったよ。
Jeez.
やっぱ女がいい加減にしろよお前。仕事だもん。仕事って言うな。どうだったレコード会社。だから何の話？
Scout. Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen sparkles around Nana-O.
落ち着くのはてめえだ。
No big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We, you mean Yasu. Yeah.
They just liked the thing. So, starting a process. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You probably want to talk rates and
Yep.
get to know you all a little bit more. Yep. Yep, negotiation.
Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah.
ブラスト生ライブが断然すごいもん。
だろうもう勝ったようなもんよ楽勝
何楽勝って。
Oh.
次のライブっていつだっけ？確か月末だよね。
うん28
美里ちゃんにも知らせなきゃ。
気合入りまくっちゃってノブのギターの弦は切れまくるし
いつか絶対超えてやる。
Oh, yep. Yeah, she knows. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just talk about it. Oh, she's had a rough 24 hours, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so sweet, Hachi. Yeah. Little casual lie, you know?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, here we go. The way the music is adding extra weight to this conversation, even though
Yeah.
they seem so casual about it.
Nice. And this can be the test run for like whether they
Yeah.
whether it'd work them living together. But there'd still be the issue of different tour schedules.
毎日でも匠に来てもらえなよ。
来てくれないよ毎日なんか。匠はオフの間も何かと忙しいって言ってたし、軽蔑される気がして。だ
軽蔑？
って憧れのミュージシャンと関係持ったりとか、そういうのってバカみたいでしょ。自分でもバカだと思うもん。
そんなの関係なく、あんたはあの男に惚れちまったんだろ？
Well, that's not actually what it was.
だって匠はやっぱりトラネスの匠
But
だ
that doesn't need to be what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, you're aware at least.
ミーハー的に一回記念にやっとこうみたいな女は確かに嫌いだけど、匠の胸であんな涙ボロボロ流してたあんたを軽蔑したりしないよ。
Maybe the reason that you hate girls like that is because Renan probably has to fight off a few of them.
みんなに話した。
Yeah.
ごめん、ヤスには喋った。まずかった。
ヤスじゃなくてノブが。じゃあヤスがノブに喋ったのかな。
ああ、違う。ノブとジンは打ち上げの時に匠が。
Oh, oh, oh!
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Shouldn't throw a drink on him?
That's true. But that's also not
That's
true.
very much not.
Yep, that's exactly what he did.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
ノブがどうかしたの？
Yeah. So.
Oh, I love that all this communication is happening, though.
Yeah. Even with the line,
Even with
the
the lying,
communication
yeah.
is actually happening, which is good.
匠を超えてやるとかそういうようなことを言ってよくわからなかったんだけど。
But
No, you did understand.
yeah.
つ
Yeah.
まり告りに来たってわけだ。
やっぱりそう
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
疑われたわけじゃないし。
言えなかったんだろ。あいつがあんたに惚れてんのはみんな何気に気づいてたよ。
Everyone?
そんなの全然気づかなかったよ私。どうしよ
あんたそれで今日スタジオに来なかったんだ。
う。だって
気にすることないよ。しょうがねえじゃん。あんたは匠が好きなんだから。
But am I?
運命の相手ってこと？
俺も割と好きなの。ロマンチストだから。俺は手近な幸せでいいや。勝てるもんが一個もねえのに無理だ。太刀打ちできねえよ。やっぱこのままじゃダメだろう。
That was a fun transition.
分かってんならブツブツ言って
The little guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
このままハチが二度とスタジオに来てくれなかったらノブさんのせいだからね。
Nice, nice.
特攻隊の気分だな。特攻隊？くそー！せめて一個でいいからあの野郎に勝てるもんがあれば。あるじゃん。何？でも出ないの？
Wow, just a letter.
仕事？捕まるなよ。勝手に人の服着るな。
He still did.
Yep.
さっきの質問に答えろ。
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it fits
yeah.
him perfectly.
ものって何？はい。
Because that's the one thing he don't have.
Uh-huh.
もしもし、シンです。はい。はい、すいません。うっかりしてて。
But is she gonna have an envelope of money too? It's like he's hoping that she doesn't, not because he doesn't want to be doing this, but he's like rooting for her not to.
わざと忘れたでしょ。上がって。
レイラさん。前払い。
Okay. That time.
Oh!
燃えてる唇部屋の片隅で I cry
I love that we haven't lost the OP, even though it's not the OP anymore.
吹き去るこの傷あってso could hurt me.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit!
また年齢不詳の山田さんに込まれるぞ。
Rose.
ごめん、昨日なんかいきなり押しかけてわけわかんないこと言っちゃって。
Hey, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
担当直入に言うけど、
Okay!
Nice. Yeah.
好きだ。
Yep. Yep. Not 愛してる but
Yeah.
好きだ. Nice and simple.
Yep.
Nice and straightforward.
Oh! Shin with the pro moves. And not like.
Well, it's
yeah.
a protection because I think in a lot of
Uh-huh.
ways. Oh, good for her. Good for her. I really do genuinely want your friendship. Like, she doesn't. Yeah. Whoa, just because you're a superstar, I thought, why not? Yeah. Right. You don't have to act tough. Oh.
Wow! Nice.
Oh.
Oh, that's. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he's
'cause
both
yeah. He's
He's-
affirming the things that she said and saying, I listened to you.
affirming the things that
and
she said.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah, like
But
giving her the
still-
things that she
oh.
actually needs rather than what she thinks she wants.
Bro, that took a lot
That-
out of
yeah,
me. Yeah.
And then saying basically, oh god,
Fuck.
why do you have to look so cool? Like,
He's straight out of DBZ and Orin High School Host Club,
Yeah.
like mixed together. What is that then? What does that mean?
not necessarily. Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good question.
And you don't have to be.
正当化したいだけ。
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Oh. Fuck, this is so good.
Yep.
Wow. Oh.
Takumi will never say that to you. Yeah, I guess he didn't say that. Lying to you, lying to himself, who knows?
You did, yeah, but...
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And you were cheated on, so you're certain... Oh, man.
Oh. I
Wow.
I understand her plight and everything just so much. It's just...
別に寂しがるほどのことじゃない。スタジオに行けばいつでも会えるし、たったの2週間だ。2週間経てば戻ってきてくれるよね。ねえナナ、今でもあのテーブル越しに。
I don't think about you. Yep.
Ah! Calling out your name. All right. Oh! That was so good! Thank you, show.
Yes.
For a few reasons, but the main one...
Yes.
For giving us this breather after the previous one that was so jam-packed full of a ton of crazy stuff happening.
Yeah, letting us settle on a lot of it, but
Letting
still
us
also
settle.
get a lot of progress.
A lot of progress and resolutions of a lot of the crazy things that happened in the previous episode. I love that so much because
Yep.
you can have those spicy episodes, right? Like the previous one where it's like, "Oh my god, so much stuff happened." And yet if you don't properly follow up on it, then that can kind of tarnish the experience because you're like, "Oh, I guess it didn't really mean anything. It was just
there to
put in a bunch of buzz events basically."
Yes.
But then this followed up on all of the ones that felt like they needed following up on, you know, and in ways that I found very satisfying.
The Nanas are going to be separated for a period of time. That's actually happening. We learned a lot about Reira.
Oh, yeah.
We learned in a lot of ways the reason why she mostly wanted to have Shin there is that we saw a while ago that she really has been desiring the company of someone who feels like they will care enough about her to listen.
Right.
Ren wasn't doing that
Nope.
back a while ago, so she's been really needing that. And
Yep.
probably because in a lot of ways the other guys are not necessarily the type of people to do that.
Oh, yeah, Takumi certainly isn't. We don't know enough about the other guy to say one way or the other.
Yeah,
And
and-
Yasu isn't interested in her anymore, so that's not happening either.
So we don't know who are her actual friends.
Yep.
So that leaves then this little fun opportunity where we see not only is she like really desperate for company in that regard, but she needs like a therapist. Like she needs like someone to basically just be there to give her professional listening.
She very much did the, pay the prostitute for therapy kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how Shin handled it because it not only was it fantastic for the interaction with Reira,
right,
but it's also something that helps give us better depth and understanding to Shin, given that his whole... It's kind of been a shtick so far, rather than like, he's the young guy, but he's totally the player, and, women are paying him, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then to have us see those moments where he is, I don't know if it's necessarily conflicted or disappointment or something, where it's he realizes the way in which what he's doing is not healthy for her, right? And so he doesn't want it to happen, but he's also not going to take away the option of it happening for her. He's just going to make it so that, hey, if you're wanting to pay me to spend the night and all that stuff, then I'm going to make sure that it's upfront that that's what this is, right? He's effectively making sure there's healthy boundaries while still having that be the dynamic, right?
Yeah.
And then when she's trying to basically be dishonest with herself,
Yes.
about what this is, he's like, nope, you can keep the lighter. And then she comes back, she gives him the lighter, she's like, I'm sorry.
She's vulnerable.
Awesome.
I love that she came back.
Yep.
That was such a big move.
Oh,
of
yeah.
her.
And then once that happens,
Yes.
then he opens up to her, reciprocates with vulnerability, but also gives her the opportunity to be like, hey, this thing that you feel you need, I will still give that to you, but I will do it and make it so that you're not paying me next time, to have it be basically like a coaching her out of it, almost a thing where it's I'll
I get what it is that you need.
Right, and I'll do it in a
it's
way
not-
where there can be the facade of transactionality,
Right.
so that there can be that, like, I don't know,
Safety.
within it, right?
Yeah.
And yet, no, I'm not taking your money.
Because I see you and I get you.
Yep.
And in a lot of ways, you don't really want me. You just want somebody.
Right.
And while that hurts probably a little bit, it is something where it's different from maybe the way in which he described a lot of the ways in which other things are. She doesn't want his heart or his body. She just wants his time. She just wants to have someone that she can just release all this stuff that she's got inside her.
Right.
And
It feels very similar to the way that, well, not necessarily similar. It's more similar to the way Nana O needs him and uses him than to how the people in his profession use him, right? Where it's the, Nana O wants that person that can, help her forget about Ren or be that,
even though they have like no relationship.
Right? But
get what you're saying.
okay, yeah, you're a person in the band. I'm surrounded by people.
Sure.
I can feel like I'm not alone, and yet she doesn't want anything from him specifically. Like,
Yeah, I think it's that he also could tell that she's similar to him. Reira is specifically.
Oh, sure.
And that's why
I like it,
he was
yeah.
kind of rattled through the whole thing, is that he kind of saw another person like him in a similar situation. So
Sure.
he kind of needs her company a bit as well to probably make him feel
I like
a little
it.
bit better about things. But then we have all the lovely conversations where they actually progress things
Yep.
with the Nanas
Oh,
and
yeah.
also with Nobu and Nana as well. So
Right.
awesome. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so their conversation was one that I loved the way in which the music in the background kind of added extra weight to this, because you could tell that this was Nana talking to Hachi about the, hey, I am going to slowly start distancing myself here. But
Yep.
I'm going to make it clear in the language that I use that I'm not doing that entirely. I'm
Right.
very much here for you in these cases.
from the standpoint of her and Ren's relationship, I think that is also a wise idea because of the touring and all that stuff to, do a trial run of living together first,
Right, but there's the ways in which Nana O lies very slightly and subtly, but it is very intentional. It is
Yes.
very much for the purpose of, I don't know what's the best way to describe this, but it's a way to feel like I'm avoiding potential hurt and or conflict.
But it's actually just that she doesn't want to cause
she-
conflict because it would make it
exactly.
uncomfortable for her, rather than
Yeah.
actually avoiding the hurt in general. Because if it happens
Exactly.
when she's not around there to see it, she only indirectly caused it, then, hey, she doesn't have to deal with it. And the thing is that this is the
Yeah.
kind of thing that would bother me a lot more if that was the thing that the conversation hinged upon entirely, because then it
it's
would
not.
feel like we're stopping progress.
We're wasting
but we were
time,
actually, exactly. But we're actually getting a ton of progress, and it's just that alongside that, these are still people that have problems with vulnerability and things, so they'll keep things from each other, but that's not causing any, that's not slowing things down. It's just making it so that we know that there will be, this messy thing is still going to be messy.
Well, yeah, they're not growing by the nature of existing and talking to each other.
Right.
Growth takes struggle, time, and in some ways hardship and failure in order to actually learn from these kinds of things. But we now have everything confirmed as to this is how Nobu found out. This is what happened at the party. This all gets circulated about. So now everybody knows everything.
Because of course Ren would talk about that stuff with Nana.
Yeah, he's like,
right?
that was a whole thing. Oh my God.
Yep. And so we don't have to deal with the some people know things, but the important people that know things don't know things. And then when she then does the, hey, I'm going to try and, again, protect Nana by not actually telling her the truth, Nana cuts through it immediately and then says, so it's probably this. And what's wonderful about this is that she doesn't
confirm it.
She doesn't confirm it, but also Nana K, miscommunication, it's not just that it stops progress, and that's what bothers me, but when there's miscommunication and then people specifically get upset about slight bits of information that was left out or something like that, and then they get really frustrated, and then that causes progress to stagnate even more. It's like it's multiple degrees of stopping progress.
It's all too common in the romance genre.
Yes, exactly. And yet here, when that thing literally happened, Nanake doesn't get frustrated by it because, I mean, potentially it wasn't even Nana who did that. It could have been Ren softening things or whatever.
What I actually kind of like about this is maybe something where these two are perfect roommates for each other, is that they both are very acutely aware that it's okay to lie to each other because you care about the other person. And it's something that I don't even know if they're consciously aware of. But the way in which they act is something that I have a lot of problems with personally, because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But so many people have this opinion specifically that communication is the most important thing in relationships. But honesty, that's not really that important. It's more about that you communicate eventually in honesty. And it's like you could say something that's obviously insensitive, but if someone's directly asking you a question and you're incapable of being like, well, I'm just not going to be honest here in this instance here, it just rubs me the wrong way when you're that close with somebody. You know what I mean?
That you won't let yourself be dishonest to save their feelings?
No. That you won't just be honest when they're literally asking you directly.
Right.
Like for a thing in that regard.
Yes.
It's so weird.
Right. And that's a situation in which Nana doesn't do that with Hachi.
Both of the Nanas do it with each other.
Yeah, both of them do it with each other. And yet it's a
It's not a thing that they get upset about. They just accept, oh yeah, this is what it is. So Nana O lies. Nana K knows. Well, then he probably ended up saying just this.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any issue with the fact that she's pretty clear then.
Yep.
Nana O lied for the purpose of, thinking about her feelings. Because she then interprets, oh, you care about me, so you'd try and lie.
Right.
I don't know, man.
And while at the same time, in the middle of this conversation in which we're getting a lot of progress, Nana actually says some things that...
Which Nana?
For the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to start using the very helpful shorthand of Nana and Hachi.
I've started to use it too. It makes sense, but it feels like everyone's using the nickname except Takumi. And that was like the one thing where I was like, wait, am I like Takumi? And I haven't, picked up on the nickname because I'm not that close to my dearest Hachi. Oh, no, she is Hachi now.
Yeah. But some of the things that Nana said, where she's trying to make her feel better and stuff by talking about how you love him and all that stuff, and be reinforcing of the fact that or Hachi will very quickly emotionally attach herself to somebody, but as a result of doing that actually makes Nana more insecure about the fact that, wait, do I have to hide the fact that I just slept with him casually?
Right, because I can't sleep with somebody that I don't love. That would make me an awful person.
Right. Like, it's the ways in which these characters are unconsciously reinforcing this notion that Nana is actually starting to,
make decisions independently.
Make decisions independently and have that healthy distance from the, hey, just because I sleep with somebody doesn't mean I should get emotionally attached to that person, because sometimes they're shitty people, right? To say... nothing of any of the other potential reasons why you wouldn't.
Could be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's something where it's generating more things for Nana K to struggle with, because that is one of the big aspects of how, like, of her arc, really, of knowing how to basically guard her own emotions in her heart, right?
Well, yeah, and then be free to express them in context of guarding them.
Sure.
Like I feel like she'll too often apologize for her own emotions and her own like things and stuff, and it's like, no, emotions are valid,
right?
Like, obviously we can make actions in an emotion that leads to making a mistake,
right?
But that's not the point about
And that distinction is important.
That distinction is
right?
very important.
Because
yeah.
Nana has absolutely caused trouble for people as a result of her rampant emotions, causing her to do things.
Actions, right.
But the emotions are not a problem.
No.
Right? Just, hopefully learn how to responsibly deal with those emotions. And so, yeah, it's...
And having safe places, like, in some ways, the characters in this episode focused on, and that we all need those places to be able to talk about those things, because you can't talk about everything to everybody. And maybe that's where I kind of get too hung up on the whole honesty thing, is that you can't talk about everything with everybody. So that's why I mean more specifically with the people that you're, like, very intimately close with.
And not everybody responds well to I just don't want to talk about it with you.
That's
or
true.
right now, like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true.
Yep.
But so this is a really cool setup for Nana, for Hachi to actually like have some space, end up thinking about what she wants to do with this new development. In that Nobu confessed,
he did,
and she knew he was going to confess. She knew it was going to be, in his own kind of specific way. But I don't think she expected how much it would make her feel good to have someone like Nobu, who she views in that sense of like the wholesome kind of guy next door kind of feeling.
Right.
It's he doesn't have all this extra attached kind of stuff to him. And while I think it's actually really important to notice, he's not even her type.
No.
There's multiple things about him that are actually like not her type. The things in which he's said makes him seem like a very genuine person to her.
Right.
And the reason why I'm making sure to speak about this, not from an emphatic, factual sense, but from perception, is I think that's really important because we're looking at this from Hachi's perspective here.
Right.
Is that he said these things and it felt better to her for him to say these littler things than it did to have someone say, "Be with me forever."
Right.
In some ways, the thing that...
Yeah, and I want to point out that I this could be what Hachi was thinking wasn't necessarily specific, but I believe my interpretation of it is that it wasn't even Nobu confessing. It was afterwards.
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it was
right,
afterwards when he's like, "Oh, thank goodness." Like, all right, we'll still be able to. Like the relationship wasn't ruined. The friendship will still be there. Okay, great. Yeah, you'll still, you'll be able to come to the studio, and like hang out with the band and stuff. Awesome. That's enough for me, right?
Yeah.
Like that's where she's like, oh,
yeah.
shit.
It was him saying, "Thank God, that's enough for me."
Right.
And then hearing you say that makes me so much happier than talking these words did.
Because it shows that he really does care about you. Regardless of the romance thing is secondary, right?
Yes.
And that is not something that she's really dealt with before in the relationships that she's been in. Closest to that was Shoji, but then
what we're going through with Shin right now, and that
right.
And
so it's
they're
just
using
like
all these different characters and personalities to explore similar things while they're going through it at the same time for the narrative convenience of keeping these themes rather simple for us, the audience, but then also
getting into the nuance from all these different angles.
Yeah, having the nuance and complexity from the fact that some people respond to these things well, some people really don't, and then some people also just end up responding very intensely. I love this cast of characters. I think in some ways the show did something very brave and cool to basically nix Shoji entirely from this point in the story, and also kind of replace Kyosuke and Junko.
Yeah.
Because they're not dealing with these kinds of emotions and stuff.
Right.
The band members all have the same what do I say this? It's like the same kind of raw, open potential for these dramatic emotions and experiences to be explored.
Because they're artists, and so it makes sense that by and large it would attract people that feel things very strongly, and the person who least matches up with that and doesn't struggle with these things. Yasu was very absent from this episode because he didn't need to be in it, right? And that's where Yasu can kind of be the Junko and Kyosuke where he doesn't have to deal with these things himself, and yet there are so many people that do in their different ways, and Nana can connect with those people, and awesome.
And now we're heading to a new arc of the story where they won't be living together for 2 weeks, which it absolutely is a test period. Nana or Hachi can definitely sense that.
Right.
There's that vibe that she has, and this is why I love her so much as a character, is that she sometimes has a full-on goddamn superpower where she intuits exactly what's going on.
Right.
Because it doesn't have anything to do with romance specifically. When it's related to love and stuff, that's related to a lot of her trauma with her past and stuff.
Sure.
So I think she has a lot of difficulty looking at those things with a very like pick them apart kind of view. But with these things, it's I'm noticing the little inflections, the little ways in which she kind of shifts her body language, the way in which she kind of turns away from me, the way in which she kind of offers me the beer.
Yeah,
like
reading everything that's not words.
Right,
because
right.
words can be lies, but then she can see the other stuff.
Yeah, the amount of microcuts that were in this episode, specifically, I think, for that, with the Nana Hachi conversation and then the the Hachi Nobu conversation, were phenomenally fun because I felt so drawn into her emotional state through these times.
And I love that the show specifically had the bit of directly even post-confession where Nobu is trying to be understanding and deferential to Nana.
Right.
It's she nods when he asks if, she loves him. And then it's but was I just saying that so that I didn't feel like I needed to, didn't feel bad for sleeping with him or to excuse, sleeping with him? Like, I love that they were very, the show was up front with that being said, and that Nana was the one who had that realization, even if she wasn't entirely sure about it, you know? Because, I love it.
Love it. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So you have any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.